His first store failed in 3 months, completely bankrupt. But Frank Woolworth had one crazy idea: put everything on display with tiny price tags and let people touch it. On February 22nd, 1879, he tried again. Stay until the end to see how his second chance built an empire that changed how the entire world shops. It's February 22nd, 1879, in Utica, New York. A 27-year-old man named Frank Winfield Woolworth stands outside a tiny storefront, watching nervous customers peek through his windows. Every single item in his store cost either 5 cents or 10 cents. Nothing more, nothing less. And here's the radical part: you can actually pick things up and look at them before you buy. You need to understand what shopping looked like in 1879. You walked into a store, stood at a counter, and told a clerk what you wanted. The clerk fetched it from behind the counter, told you the price, and you either bought it or you didn't. No browsing, no touching, no comparing prices. The wealthy got better deals because clerks negotiated differently with rich customers versus poor ones. Frank Woolworth hated this system. He'd worked as a store clerk for years, watching people too intimidated to even ask about prices. He knew there had to be a better way. In 1878, Frank convinced his boss to let him try something wild. He set up a table with items priced at just 5 cents each and posted a sign that said, "Any item 5 cents." People went crazy. They mobbed the table. They bought everything. So Frank borrowed $300 and opened his own 5-cent store in Utica. It failed spectacularly. Within 3 months, he was broke, humiliated, watching his dream crumble. Most people would have given up, gone back to being a clerk, accepted defeat. Frank Woolworth went the opposite direction. He analyzed exactly why he failed. Wrong location, not enough variety. Only 5-cent items limited his options. He needed 2 price points, 5 cents and 10 cents. On February 22nd, 1879, Frank opens his second store on a better street corner in Utica. This time, he's got 5-cent items and 10-cent items. Red price tags on everything. No haggling, no secret prices for rich people. A farm wife can walk in with exact change and know she can afford something beautiful. And here's what makes it revolutionary. Everything sits on open tables and counters. You can touch the merchandise, pick it up, feel the weight of it. Compare a red ribbon to a blue one. For the first time in retail history, shopping becomes an experience, not a transaction. Picture what this means to ordinary people. A factory worker's daughter can buy a hair ribbon without asking her father for extra money. A newly married couple can furnish their first home, one dish, one towel, one picture frame at a time. Immigrants who barely speak English can shop without fear because the prices are right there on the tags. Within 5 years, Frank will have stores in 6 cities. Within 15 years, he's opening stores across America and Europe. By 1919, the F.W. Woolworth Company operated over 1,000 stores worldwide. That $300 loan becomes a billion-dollar empire. Frank Woolworth dies in 1919, but his stores keep thriving for decades. At their peak, Woolworths operated in 6 countries with thousands of locations. The company builds the Woolworth Building in New York City, which becomes the world's tallest building, all because one man refused to let failure define him. That red-tagged, open display, fixed-price shopping model, it's literally how every store you walk into today operates. Grocery stores, department stores, dollar stores, big box retailers, every single one traces back to Frank Woolworth's refusal to give up after his first store failed. From complete bankruptcy to changing global retail forever, all because Frank Woolworth tried one more time. He didn't just create a successful business. He democratized shopping. He gave dignity to people who'd been treated as second-class customers. Here's what keeps me thinking. What dreams are sitting in your heart right now that you've given up on after one failure? What would happen if you analyzed what went wrong, adjusted your approach, and tried one more time? Your story matters. Not just the successes, but the failures that taught you how to succeed. The moments when you could have quit, but didn't. Those are the stories your children and grandchildren need to hear. They need to know that the people they love aren't perfect. They're persistent. Join our History Sparks community by subscribing to this channel. Every single day, we share stories of ordinary people who did extraordinary things, not because they were lucky, but because they refused to stay down. And I want to hear from you. What failure taught you your most valuable lesson? What would you tell your younger self about not giving up? Share your story in the comments. It might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. I'm also thinking about creating a free guide for my subscribers. Something to help you capture your family stories, the struggles, the comebacks, the moments that made you who you are. Would you want something like that? Remember, your legacy isn't just what you achieved, it's what you overcame to get there.